Despite tensions running high in competitive sporting events, there are times in which athletes' emotions simply get the best of them. At the Taipei Open semifinals back in 2018, one of the athletes seemed to show disrespect to his opponent by showing his middle finger during a hug after a hard-fought match.
And it was a fabulous contest, it really was.
After this clip went viral, the incident was widely discussed, and the athlete came out to say it was an accident and he didn't notice doing it. But some fans didn't buy it. At the 18th stage of the Tour de France, a competitor had to speed up and cut off another cyclist to avoid a vehicle. This angered Jasper Philipsen, who then pursued and attempted to force the cyclist off the road.
This race has fired Jasper Philipsen up at the front. Little bit of a sprint. I don't know what's going on here.
He's closing the gap.
The Beijing half marathon had a controversial finish, which led to an investigation by the organizers since footage shows a trio of runners deliberately slowing down and allowing star runner He Jie to win the race.
我们说积极的一种促进，越跑越快啊，何洁在最后是完全。
The trio of runners claim they were pacemakers despite having their chest numbers as competitors, and the whole thing is still under investigation.
他最终的成绩应该是1小时0。
Ahead of a bare-knuckle fighting event, the weigh-in got heated after one of the fighters came in with a clown mask and started taunting the opponent. However, during the first round, after an attempt at switching stances, the fighter got KO'd.
Trucking gold trucks for fans, Burberry trucks for party. Seconds into round number 1 for your winner by KO.
Draymond Green got a technical foul barely 1 minute into Game 1 when he tossed James Harden by the neck, and Steph Curry was completely stunned.
A shove to the bearded one's chest. I don't know why Draymond is complaining here.
In order to get a first base, Jacques Peterson tried slightly leaning in, so he purposely gets hit by the ball. Needless to say, the umpire saw right through what he was doing. Okay, I'm not sure why Neymar did this, or maybe it was muscle memory, but he took a dive in the penalty box during a friendly match in Japan. During an incredible performance by both fighters, Jamal got a little carried away and hit the champion with an illegal shot while he was down. A crazy sequence of events happened during the fourth quarter of a Lakers vs. Suns game when LeBron James was tangled with Chris Paul while fighting for a rebound. The ball then bounced off to the near wing, and a scuffle ensued out of nowhere, resulting in an ejection.
That's another look at it. And there's Harrell that came in late on Payne.
Two managers clashed at the end of the Premier League back in 2022, resulting in a $35,000 fine.
It's only just started.
Even though Floyd Mayweather is not known to be the most liked boxer, he was incredibly disrespected during an exhibition fight a few years ago. Mayweather managed to keep his cool, and just picked up the flowers and knocked the guy out clean in the second round.
Just seen that coming.
During a blowout Game 6 loss, Patrick Beverley pushed Chris Paul after an insane three-pointer. Paul was a good sport about it and got up with a smile on his face, knowing he was covered by State Farm, and Beverley was ejected from the game.
Beverly losing control.
He said something, Paul said something to him, and he reacted inappropriately.
You've been chirping all series long.
Right.
Now's not the time to react that way.
Upon video review, it has been determined that Petr rejected and assessed a technical foul. Phoenix will shoot one free throw, and then...
Nick Kyrgios has been named the bad boy of tennis for several reasons, but perhaps he went too far by blaming a ball boy for losing a point and telling him to run properly. In another occasion, he recklessly threw his racket to the crowd, which thankfully didn't land on anyone. Legends have to be respected. In one of the last fights of his career, Manny Pacquiao was facing Keith Thurman back in 2019. Allegedly, Manny Pacquiao had to take some of these fights towards the end of his career due to money problems stemming from philanthropy and unpaid taxes, but fans were not happy with Thurman trash-talking so much before the fight.
Times change. I believe boxing has come to a new era. Floyd is gone. Pacquiao is here. Come July 20th, he will disappear.
He's got these T-Rex arms. Everybody's talking about how fast he is. Manny Pacquiao, T-Rex arms. Pop, pop, pop.
Down. Oh, down goes Thurman.
During a badminton match, the French team started celebrating a little too hard by being loud, and this rubbed the Danish team the wrong way, and started doing it as well. And if punishing each other wasn't enough, every viewer at home was annoyed too.
No, don't come here, please.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I understand your emotions, but please behave in sportsmanlike shit, okay?
Crystal Dunn accidentally kicked the ball at Ellie Carpenter's face, and even though she said on an interview her first instinct was to go off on Dunn, calm heads prevailed and she understood it was an accident. And well, she took it really well considering this is a side-by-side of Neymar's reaction to someone touching his leg with the ball.
The opponent, I have to say, absolutely vicious clearance by Crystal Dunn.
This might be a strange one, but during a volleyball game, USA versus Italy, one of the Italian players kept getting mad at the USA team when he kept missing. Apparently, consoling your opponent is not cool.
Front scores! What a setup by Austin!
When a goalie lost his stick, he wanted the game to be stopped, so decided to dislodge the net.
It's a heavy collision. He loses his stick. End of a shift. And Lundqvist wanted a whistle and didn't get it, so he does this.
When Blake Griffin saw a fan with a Warriors shirt, he sneakily threw water at them.
This afternoon for Griffin.
After Messi got fouled 20 times and the referee didn't do anything about it, he kinda lost his cool. When some disrespectful fans sitting courtside wouldn't stop calling LeBron James names and making unsportsmanlike remarks, he justifiably lost his cool and asked the referee to eject both fans.
It got a little unruly, and LeBron is pointing it out to the officials.
At the WTA Rome Open, everything seemed normal and respectful, until one of the players all of a sudden took all their frustration with the umpire's chair after losing.
Která ale naprosto právem.
After striking out David Ortiz got a little frustrated and smashed a telephone. After a chess game, it's customary to shake hands, but during the finals of the Grand Chess Tour, Ali Reza refused to give his opponent a fair shake.
Yeah, now it's easy. What a crazy endgame. Definitely some mistakes.
Even though the yellow card was a bad call from the referee, considering Cristiano Ronaldo actually lost balance and wasn't a dive, he still made a bad decision by giving a light shove to the referee.
Dive, but then a second yellow, and then the shove. This is gonna get him in trouble.
Sometimes, being a cocky fighter and showing disrespect simply doesn't translate in the ring. Neymar understandably lost his cool during a match, when the player tasked with defending him kept pulling his shirt throughout the entire game. When the Turkish team scored a point against Italy, Kara Kurt did a disrespectful taunt that costed her a yellow card. A sad moment to watch was when the team in orange made a small tribute, an act of respect, after a tragedy event, and the team in white didn't show respect. Luckily, the player was fine, but during a Northern Illinois and Toledo game, one of the players clearly did a late hit.
Terrence Taylor.
Not sure if this can be considered disrespectful, but Drake got a little too excited talking to Steph Curry and Draymond Green, and even caused the team's private jet to depart late. And well, the Warriors fined Drake $500.
Drake got on the plane that night with Draymond and Steph, and I fined all three of them for being late. And Drake paid his $500 fine.
The court.
More errors from Italy. Time to have a little word through the net. Bit of afters from Ivan Zaitsev, referee blowing the whistle. That's calm.
When two 240-pound-plus heavyweights are going at it in the ring, there's not much an average-sized person can do. After Anthony Joshua landed a punch after the bell, Dillian Whyte lost his cool, causing chaos in the ring.
He's a boxer, he knows discipline is required. What Dillian Whyte did there was real smart. He said it looks terrible, but it was smart because the referee gave him a solid minute at the beginning of the set.
Sidney Crosby annoyed his opponent after he complained to the ref.
He knocks the glove away from Voracek. Giroux doesn't like it. Timonen doesn't like it. Can't fault the Flyers there.
After a foul was called, football player Neymar not only kicked the ball to waste time, but also reached out his hand to help the player that fell, and pulled it away just moments before he grabbed it. This disrespectful fighter got some well-deserved karma after he pushed the referee for simply doing his job, and protecting the fighter that tapped out. And well, even though he won, his actions made him disqualified. Even though fans can get passionate during sporting events, there are times they take it a little too far and get disrespectful. After Game 4, a Celtics fan threw a water bottle at Kyrie Irving, and luckily he missed by an inch. This caused the fan to get escorted out of TD Garden. Later, the fan was charged with assault and battery by means of a dangerous weapon, and faces up to 5 years in prison.
Charged with assault and battery with a dangerous weapon.
The 21-year-old is accused of hurling a Dasani water bottle at Brook.
A completely strange and unnecessary moment happened when one of the footballers was very frustrated with the player in charge of defending him, and started doing some strange karate chops. Even though golf is known to reduce stress and anxiety, this clip would make you think otherwise. This man boasts the fastest punch on earth that cannot even be registered by cameras for TV. Hard to believe that this actually happened at the Israeli Premier League, but two opponents made some flops that really didn't make any sense. Okay, this is a controversial moment, but when a fighter thought the round was over but it actually wasn't, he just walked towards his corner and got knocked out in the process. And well, technically it was a legal victory, but some claimed it was a cheap shot.
Good sportsmanship here from both men.
Somehow this man got away using his hand in a soccer match. After a group of players were showing unsportsmanlike behavior and wouldn't stop complaining, the referee justifiably lost his cool. Okay, this might have been more strange than anything, but Draymond Green tried pulling Jaylen Brown's pants down after a foul.
To Green's legs being on him as he fell.
And then he tried to pull my pants down. I don't know what that was about, but that's what Draymond Green does.
Sometimes even a small act of kindness can be greatly appreciated. A double unsportsmanlike moment happened when Andre Drummond felt disrespected after Daniel Gafford taunted him, and he proceeded to sort of lightly hit him with the ball, and well, he got ejected from the game.
Drummond, he's got a whelp on his eye where he got on top of his head.
During a football game, a very unusual moment happened when a team got a 15-yard penalty due to unsportsmanlike conduct from the coach.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, head coach of Tampa Bay, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
After a player sneakily disrespected one of his opponents, the ref gave him a justifiable yellow card. Even though I don't think what happened was unsportsmanlike behavior, I do think the commission made a horrible call for disqualifying this swimmer. During the ACC Championship, North Carolina State Owen Lloyd posted the fastest time by a significant amount, but in a heartbreaking turn of events, he got disqualified for crossing lanes while celebrating, since apparently changing lanes is not allowed until every single competitor finishes the race.
Get on that lane line, son. You earned it.
On the men's side and the swimming.
What? Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. They're just saying that Owen Lloyd was...
And well, even his competition came to his defense, and it was overall a sad decision to see.
I think that's the dumbest rule in swimming. Owen beat me fair and square. He should be on that toe of the podium. He was excited. That's a huge win for him, right? he earned that, and that's his emotion, right?
In a moment of madness, a Frankfurt player shoulder-checked the opposite team's manager, which caused him to fall into the ground. He was given a red card for this act, and thankfully the manager was not injured. After a disrespectful and clearly intentional hitting with the ball by Marcus Morris, Justin Anderson remained calm and professional, and just waited for the call from the ref.
Now watch him.
I don't know if I should have laughed at that. Oh, did that just happen?
I mean, that's...
Even though a celebration after winning is normal, if it's too over the top, it can be understandable why the losing team wouldn't be happy about it. This happened during a world-ranking volleyball match, and turned into a very rare professional volleyball scuffle. In a blowout, which means when one team is winning by a lot, there's an unwritten rule in the NBA to not show off or embarrass the other team. Rookie Jordan Bell seemed to not get the memo, and did an incredible alley-oop to himself off the backboard, and his teammates' reactions were priceless.
Teammates like it.
Cordy makes a lot of noise.
Steph's like...
Okay, in my opinion, this might be a little too much by the NBA, but LeBron James got fined $20,000 for this celebration.
And he needs to get a warning.
Maybe not the most fair play way to defend a player. When goalkeeper Donnarumma signed for another team for money, fans were upset and started jokingly calling him Dollarumma, but perhaps it was taken too far when they started throwing money at him in the middle of the games.
Si parlerà proprio di questo, ovvero di Donnarumma, di calcio. That's not his call.
At least the ball boy had the time of his life. A moment that was very debated by football fans happened when a Stuttgart player made a goal, while lingering and basically showing off. This resulted in the player getting a yellow card, but some argue that he was just being smart and taking the extra time off the clock since his team was winning. This is not really from an athlete, but when a referee got in the way of the game, he tripped and proceeded to try and kick one of the players, and even gave him a yellow card.
Oh, he's chipped the referee. That's an inadvertent coming together there.
Even though this player might actually have had bad breath, the referee didn't appreciate the gesture. Taunting your opponent in boxing is usually not a good idea, since it tends to be disrespectful, and could rile your opponent up and end up backfiring. But something you never want to do is taunt Mike Tyson.
Wearing white trunks with red and blue trim. He weighed in at 174 confident. And he puts on a show. That Magic Johnson, Isaiah.
This footballer showed unsportsmanship when he yelled at a referee assistant. In the middle of a Timberwolves vs. Magic game, Aaron Aflalo got so upset at his opponent that he tried to swing at him. Luckily, he missed and both players ended up being ejected.
For the collection, but...
Oh my goodness.
Whoa. We got some heated exchanges going on here. Aflalo and Bailey, this has been brewing for a while.
Yeah, there's something going on prior here.
Sure is.
Okay, even though this is not against the rules per se, an unsportsmanlike moment from Djokovic happened when he aimed at Federer at the net.
That is an interest here. Make no mistake about it. This is a message right through him.
Joel Embiid and Russell Westbrook have had a feud for years, but when Embiid dunked on Westbrook and proceeded to taunt him, Westbrook got his revenge towards the end of the game, when his team was winning, and stared at Embiid while he waited for the time ran out.
Here at Chesapeake Energy Arena. For the future, we're not quite ready tonight.
Okay, not sure how Bo Jackson's leg is so strong, but he was able to break a bat over his knee. Okay, not sure how the referee missed this, but Jose Bozingua clearly kicked an opponent out of the line to save their team from getting a corner against them.
Well, they can't run down that amount of time here. Saw all this.
Pepe is a Brazilian footballer who has the reputation of being very hot-headed, and he made the bad act of stepping on Messi's hand when he was on the ground. And well, the worst part is that he got away with it. After Norwegian player Erling Haaland mocked the goalkeeper, some players of the opposite team got upset and started chasing him. Stefanos Tsitsipas is a tennis player who already has been fined multiple times for bad behavior. But in one occasion when the umpire didn't allow him extra time, he started insulting an entire country. This footballer got a well-deserved red card after intentionally kicking one of the players.
This really is just absolutely comfortable now, and that is Kang-in Lee, very silly, straight red.
A female tennis player who seemed to be very relaxed suddenly starts hitting the stairs with her racket after losing. Sometimes football players forget which sport they're playing, and it looks more like martial arts than anything else.
Great touch that from Pickford, and look how quickly Firmino is across. And Firmino is then pushed into the...
For some reason, NBA player Chris was kind of taunting Luka Doncic, and later pushed him to the courtside seats.
Chris smiled at him there like, hey, I see what you're doing. You're just trying to antagonize, irritate me. And here comes the puss. Watch this.
He had him by the arm and then the two-hand shove. But as you said, that happened on the initial swipe on the rebound.
A very understandable moment when a player lost his cool after the referee gave him a yellow card was when a player of the opposite team faked an injury. Even though it's hard to tell live, you can see in the slow-motion camera that the player wasn't even touched. A big brawl during an NBA game spurred when Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley got into a scuffle. Luckily, even though everyone is huge, no one got hurt. And now, years later, Shaq and Charles actually became sort of best friends. A tennis player lost his cool for a second, but then proceeded to dub his opponent up. Didier Drogba got quite angry when he was substituted, and even kicked the water thermos while seated. Pole vault is one of the most dangerous and hardest sports currently played. During a competition, one of the athletes got very mad because she sadly touched the pole in the air, and by the looks of it, she didn't believe she did. Another crazy moment involving Pepe is when he got so mad that he kicked his opponent when he was on the ground. Luckily, he got a lengthy suspension after that. An understandable moment when Cristiano Ronaldo lost his cool was when the goalkeeper purposely made him trip using his hands. After Marquise Chris failed to make a dunk, his teammate Jared Dudley suspected a foul, and that's when things went south.
Finish. Could that be a Shaq in the foul? What was that? Come on now. Out of here. Ingles has to hold back. Marquise Chris, cheap shot.
Sometimes when football players get switched, it can have a toll on the player, because well, you're not playing anymore, and you have to trust the team to win. In this next clip, you can see how hurt Cristiano Ronaldo was after getting switched. For some odd reason, a player decided to make a little prank on Messi, which understandably pissed him off. Okay, maybe not unsportsmanlike, but there was no need to do the fan dirty like that.
Wait, Harry, Harry. Try it again. Let's make sure. Is that an engagement ring? Oh, man.
Sometimes emotions get the best of us. After a bad referee call during overtime, the captain called it quits, and in anger started kicking the seats and doors.
Om daar nou een dugout voor uit zijn voegen te rossen en daar nog eens tekeer te gaan. Waar slaat het allemaal op zich? Wat een ongeloof.
A somewhat controversial moment happened when LSU forward Angel Reese made fans on social media upset for taunting Iowa guard Caitlin Clark. People said it was rude and uncalled for, but even Caitlin Clark came to her opponent's defense.
She should never be criticized for what she did. I think everybody knew there was going to be a little trash talk in the entire tournament. It's not just me and Angel, so.
In a controversial overtime call, Joel Embiid's complaint about Donovan Mitchell's arguing led to Mitchell receiving a second technical foul and subsequent ejection.
And a technical has been called, I think, as well.
And then you can see Joel
putting to Mitchell as if to say, hey, what
you're going to put up with that?
Donovan Mitchell has himself ejected here, we believe, in overtime.
Despite the referee making the wrong call, Shakib Al-Hassan lost his cool at the umpire and broke the stumps with a kick. After a player scored a penalty, he kept mocking the goalkeeper, and surprisingly, there were no consequences.